Waid Harbison here, Chairman of the Cullman County Republican Party. I'm here with Melvin Hasting. Melvin is one of our candidates for circuit judge. Melvin, if you will, just start out kind of telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Melvin Hasting. I'm a lifelong resident of Cullman County. I've been a Republican essentially all my life. I turned 20 in the 1990s, 1991 when the Clinton era come in, so I knew real fast I was going to be a Republican. One of the original Republicans here in Cullman. I went to school at Vinemont, went through Wallace, got an EMT degree, was a paramedic for a while, taught at Wallace, went to school at nighttime at Birmingham School of Law, and been a lawyer for 16 years. I'm married, got a beautiful wife, Shay, and we got 3 boys.
That's awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about what your background qualifies you to be circuit judge.
First of all, like I said, I've been an attorney for 16 years, and during that 16 years, I have a lot of trial experience. I have tried cases throughout the state of Alabama when all the issues that a circuit judge tries, whether it be divorce cases, it be landline disputes, criminal trials, civil jury trials, contract cases, all the cases that is required in circuit court, I have experience in doing it. Also, like I said, when I was going through law school, I worked being a paramedic, I worked teaching at Wallace. I had to earn everything I got. It was tough on me sometimes, and I understand how important people's property rights are. I understand for the hard-working man, their property is very important to them. And the circuit judge, when you're in circuit court, no matter what kind of case you're in on, it is very important. Your property rights are important. So I try to identify with the citizens of Cullman County. I understand how important this property is. Also, understand the authority that a circuit judge has, I feel like I'm a lot in touch with the public. I'm going to tell you one more little story. Spend a little bit extra time on this question. I had a person come up to me and tell me that they was impressed with me because I'm always fighting for the little man, and I took that as a compliment. But that person's right, and I fight for the little man because I am the little man. You know, I understand these people, what they're going through, and I understand that they want a circuit judge that identifies with them, and that's that's my qualities that I can bring to a circuit judge.
Absolutely. Well, the judicial process, a lot of people know a lot goes into that. A lot of cases come before the court. A lot of times it takes some time to get in front of the courts, just with the vast amount of cases. Is there anything you see that we can do to make the judicial process run more effectively?
Well, one thing that Winston County does that I think that we could do here in Cullman, you have civil jury weeks and then you have criminal jury weeks. Sure. We do that in Cullman. There'll be some weeks there'll be just civil trials, car accidents, cases would be an example. The other weeks you have the felony jury trials. In Winston County, sometimes they combine those. And there's times in Cullman when we have civil jury week and not a single case gets tried. So we waste a whole week of doing that. So I think we can work with the DA's office, we can work with the attorneys that's handling civil cases, criminal cases, and especially we have a bunch of murder cases. There's a bunch, there's 10 or 12 murder cases pending in Cullman County now. Some of them's 4 or 5 years old that needs to be tried. And I think we can probably start trying those cases in a civil jury week, because it doesn't matter. You're not picking you're picking a jury. You're not picking them for whether they're for a crime or whether they're for a car accident case or whatever else. All you need is a jury pool to pick a jury from. Sure. So that's a big way to get this more efficient, to get these cases through. Have a jury here and have them both do civil cases and maybe even do criminal cases too.
Sure, absolutely. One major thing too, people are a little bit leery about with some judges sometimes. A lot of times federal judges or bigger judges maybe on state level is kind of legislating from the bench, kind of determining what the law is rather than just interpreting the law. What's your stance on that, and how would you ensure what you're doing on the bench so everyone knows where you stand on that?
Well, the federal court system and the state court system is somewhat different, and we have had some legislating from the bench. There are some things that comes up where they do it, but it is a separation of powers. We're prohibited from doing it. Everybody will say, all judicial candidates say, I will never legislate from the bench. And that's important, but let me cover something that's a little bit more important. The legislature makes laws, and there's rules made, and as a judge, I think what everybody expects you to do is to follow the law.
Sure.
But that's not happening. And I'm gonna give you one case. It's gonna take me a little bit, but this is a very important case. A guy named Kenneth Ray Cornelius. He robbed Dodge City Chevron back in 2003. He was convicted 2005 of robbing it. He is a career criminal, been convicted of multiple felony offenses prior, and because of that, he received the only sentence he could, which is life without parole. He tried for 11 years to get his sentence overturned. He went through Judge Hardiman, he went through the Court of Criminal Appeals, went to Supreme Court, went to Judge Nicholas, had a full trial with Judge Nicholas again about his sentence, and went to the Court of Criminal Appeals again, and all the way through the Supreme Court of Alabama. He tried for 11 years to get his sentence overturned. Everybody ruled right. They all said the law says you can't get your sentence overturned. When you were sentenced, you received the only sentence that you could. And in 2016, again, he hired another lawyer trying to get his sentence overturned. Judge Nicholas again says, no, you can't do it. And in 2 days' time, the case was transferred to my opponent, and in 2 days' time, his sentence was overturned without a hearing, without a trial, and he's free. 6 months later, he's released from prison. You've got to follow the law. Your circuit judges, everybody wants the circuit judge to follow the law, and that's what I'm going to do. The legislating from the bench is no, you can't do it, but you have to follow the law.
Sure. You know, one of the other major problems we have in Alabama right now that's been addressed in the legislature is prison overcrowding. You know, that's a major thing, the mental health issues. You know, as far as the judicial side of it, the judges have a lot to do with that based on sentencing and everything like that. What do you see as a judge maybe that you could do to help with prison overcrowding and those issues along mental health lines as well?
We have to put the right people in prison. We have now sentencing guidelines like that you referred to that sets out, hey, if you do property crimes, you can get this sentencing range and you get sentenced this way. Now then, these robbery, murders, kidnappings, rapes, all that stuff, none of that applies in these. So they did that. This sentencing reform happened because of the prison overcrowding, because we were seeing someone that got convicted of pot possession or something like that, 10 years. So and then when you do that, these guys is breaking into your house, breaking into your cars, breaking into your business, that's robbing you. They're getting released early, and we're putting a drug addict in prison for a lot longer. So how do we do that? We have to look at who are we putting in prison. Let's make sure we send the right people in prison.
Right, absolutely. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Your circuit judge is important. You have a lot of authority, and that means that your decisions affects people's lives, and I understand that, and I take it serious. And there are a lot of citizens out there that feels like that their circuit judges are out of touch with them. I want people to know that I am in touch with you. I understand your problems. I hear your problems, and we can do something about it.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate everybody's vote.
Thank you, Melvin. I appreciate you running, and good luck on your
Yes,
cancer.
sir. Thank you very much.